Hey guys, what's crack-a-lackin'? Somebody can give me a 5 for 5, and we'll get into this. Yeah, this is a little well, I'm not saying that I completely didn't expect this, but I honestly, if I'm being 100 with you, I didn't think it was going to start like this. So anyway, let me go ahead and we're just going to jump into it, because I foresee myself being here multiple times today with updates, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be trying to forecast or like explain why things are happening in great detail. I mean, I'll tell you guys what's going on and why it's happening, but I'm not going to go into specific details like I typically do. I don't think right now that is the best thing for everybody to be doing. What I will say straight from the get, this started way stronger than ever was expected. Hey Tris, thank you. Appreciate you. Wow, already. Wow, thank you so much. That's very generous. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I think you're the one that left the super chat too, or the super thanks. Thank you for that also. That's, yeah, never expected, but always appreciated. Thank you so much. But yeah, so it's just, okay, I kind of just threw this together, like, really quick. What you guys are going to notice, this thing started at a G4. This did not waste any time getting strong. And I kind of hinted at this at my last live stream, because remember I said it was like a triple cannibal CME. And with that being said, I knew the density was going to be high. I was just unsure, because of the high density, whether or not the speed was going to be enough to really just smack us real hard right from the beginning. Now, something else that I really wasn't considering until now, you guys see this? This put us into an immediate radiation storm also. Now, that's not like completely unexpected, but I also have to show you guys that there was another blast after I got off the live stream last night that was significant, and it's in that quote unquote half danger zone, if you want to use those words. Okay, this over here, that is a blast on the backside, guys. But this blast right here, you're not seeing a whole lot of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you the whole day on the 10th. Because it did produce a halo. And that means that it has an Earth-directed component. And again, so that takes the whole CME count up another notch. I mean, we are sitting at 5, 6, 7, at least 7 CMEs coming our way. And it's just now starting. And this first initial hit may look like one hit, even though it's more like 3. Or at least 2. Because 2 of the CMEs, I do think that they became cannibalized, which means they just are really close together. They appear to be one, and there's a shock wave in between that. But with this eruption here, this can cause radiation storms on its own. And the reason why is because it's in that, where our connection line to the sun is over here on the right side. So it blew off mainly this direction, but it did have a shock wave that rippled through the face of the sun. And you could kind of see a faint halo when it erupts right there. You see that? So it did have an Earth-directed component, although it might not be a direct hit. It's still going to be significant, because we're already going to have all this stuff happening. So these are one right after the other, and it's going to get real fast, real quick. And I do have to say this too. When it's done, it's probably going to quit just as fast as it started. We see that a lot. But let me... what I want to do is start you guys here, because This is our magnetopause. This is how our magnetic field is deflecting or accepting or whatever. This is a visual model showing space weather, blast from the sun, hitting our planet, okay? And I'm showing you this first because see how it kind of started there? And I've been watching this, guys. I mean, I'm not going to stop watching this. I just have to, you know, yeah, I'm just going to say that. Now, I'll be watching it at all times, probably on my phone or whatever I'm doing this weekend. You know, it's Mother's Day weekend, and that kind of sucks in the aspect that I'm probably going to miss out on a little bit of stuff. I'm not going to miss out on a lot because I'm definitely going to be giving you guys some updates, but I'm talking about missing out on stuff here at my house. But I'm not going to allow that to happen too much because family is way more important to me than anything else in my world or in space. So that's what I'll be doing. But I just want to start here, okay? And again, guys, this is the speed. This is velocity. And this, you know, it starts off like this, right? That's it. You know, that's an uptick, but it's not excessive until you start just a little bit longer. You're gonna, I mean, it happens like immediately. So there it goes right there. It starts right there. You're going to see a consistent wavering here on the speed model. And also, guys, NASA actually did, or NOAA held a briefing about an hour ago on this solar storm. Okay, I wasn't able to watch it. I don't know what they said, but it is interesting that they held a briefing on this, and it says, and actually says severe storm. So when we're talking severe, we're talking G4, G5. So, and with it starting at a G4, yeah. So it begs to argue here that most likely we're going to get higher levels here, guys. Okay, so just let me say that first and foremost. Now, and the biggest thing I want to tell people right now, even though this is the story going on right now, and this is very significant, and we should be watching this as much as we can, please don't be scared of anything. Guys, I'm sitting here doing a live stream talking to you guys. That should speak volumes. Okay, and I'm saying that because my power's not out, my internet's still on. Okay, now I get that this just started. So what I want to say here is, this is not, and I know that this looks excessive, right? This is magnetic pressure. We're going to run this model, but, and I really didn't want to click on that yet because people get scared when I show that. Just don't be afraid. Okay? At all. We're all still here. Everything's fine. And it did hit really, really hard right from the get. We are going to get stronger, most likely. This is going to persist for the next day or so. Probably even two. Maybe even the whole weekend. Okay? So, we are going to see issues around the planet. Now, I'm not saying like massive issues, although we could. And I do, this is the biggest storm I've ever reported on. This is not going, this one's actually probably going to end up being on the list of the stronger ones in recent history. Okay? Well, it definitely will be because, you know, the last time we seen a G4 was back in 2000, well, not a G4, but last time they warned us for a G4 was back in 2005. So this is starting off with a bang. Okay, so this is magnetic pressure. And again, please don't be scared. Okay, I know all this stuff is going to look very intense. But at the same time, we got to be real about it. I'm talking to you, right? If things were really bad, like immediately, like we needed to run and do this and do that, I wouldn't be here talking to you. And that's what I want to point out, okay? And I'm probably going to say that a couple more times during this stream. But I don't want to downplay the massive geomagnetic storm we're getting smacked with, because this absolutely could start knocking some stuff with the grid. This is not something that, it's not the quote unquote what people think about kill shot, right? We hear that word a lot, or grid down, you know, all these words that everybody uses. And you know, and I guess that at certain times those are, you know, that's what we need to be saying, right? But in other times we don't. And this is not a kill shot. Okay? So I want to say that first and foremost, but it does not mean it can't cause problems with sections of our grid. It does not mean that, you know, because it's going to be most likely like a, when we get that massive event, it ain't necessarily going to be just one shot and then everything goes out at once. It's most likely going to be a domino effect of parts of our grid just finally start falling in like a domino effect. That's why we talk about what we're talking about now with these multiple hits in a row. So, you know, a kill shot, yes, that's very, you know, that's very intense, and that's, you know, frankly, it's scary. But so is the domino effect that it's going to take most likely a couple days to get there. But it also gives us time to fix things here. This is going to be a good test, definitely on our grid system. It's just going to be all those kinds of things, because we haven't had a storm like this, like I said, in quite some years. Now, we've been hit with like one or two CMEs that put us up into G4 level, but we've not been hit with these things that have been persistent with multiple CMEs coming at us. This is just the beginning. And that's why I want to stress here that this right here, this is not what anybody really expected. I mean, I wasn't, you know, I was giving this kind of a start to this, probably like a 25 to 30% chance. I was really thinking it was going to take, you know, a day or so to get into G4. But it didn't happen that way, guys. That's not what's happening. So, you know, and again, I don't say that being in fear. Now, let me show you the geoelectric model, okay? I'm showing you these because it gives everybody a really good way to understand how strong this is and the effects that it's going to be having. This is our geoelectric field at the surface, okay? See how that looks kind of mundane and kind of nominal and just kind of, you know, blah? But then look what happens. Okay? Now, again, this model's here to, what it's trying to show you is geomagnetic effects on our, or space weather effects, I guess, on our unnatural electrical components. Now, the Canadian part of this map wasn't here until about 6 to 8 months ago. I can't remember exactly when. But I've been showing you guys this map for, gosh, over a year. Okay? Now, again, they just added this Canadian map. So anybody that's watched me before has seen this. So, with that being said, they've probably never seen me show this. This is very intense. Okay? I've shown some of these very intense purples and stuff like that, like the whole map would light up with it. I kind of chalked those up to, like, probably because they were still developing the model, and they still are. So it could have been like a modeling glitch, or even just a short little blast that we didn't see coming, that kind of thing. Didn't last long, didn't put us up into geomagnetic storming at all, or, you know, because actually the geomagnetic storming would have caused this to do things like this. So when I talk about unnatural electrical components, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's something that was not made by nature. Wall switches, batteries, wires, transformers, power state, whatever you guys want to talk about here that man made. Okay? Now they're using this to help forecast seismic activity. They're bridging the gap between that space weather and seismic activity, because it is widely accepted now, and I've always thought this, that space weather has a direct effect on seismic uptick. We're going to see seismic uptick from this, guys. Now, it might not be some big blast from a volcano. It might not be a 9.0. I don't know. but we will see effects, okay? You just got to go look for them sometimes because they don't get mass reported. This is a subject that does not get mass reported in any kind of media that isn't specific to space weather. And that's sad. You know, this stuff used to be reported on our local news. You know, when we get a geomagnetic storm. I've seen the Weather Channel and things like that report on geomagnetic storms before. But, you know, not like it used to be when I was a kid. So, anyway, enough of the ranting part there. But that's our geoelectric field model. And again, guys, this is just starting because you can tell, because look what the map looked like back here to now. So this is just now starting. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to give you guys a start point, okay? Because as the weekend progresses, I'm going to be back multiple times, and I'm going to be giving you updates, okay? But, so let me go over here to the data, and I know, well, let's, I'm trying to decide what I want to do here, how I want to present this to you. Let me go over here, back over here to spaceweather.com. Not spaceweather.com, but NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center. I want to show you guys their forecast, okay? Now, they could have updated this in their news briefing. I didn't see it, okay? It was just about an hour ago. It actually showed up on my YouTube page. BNO News covered it, okay? So if you guys want to know where that's at and go watch it, it's there, okay? But let me just say this. You see how they got this starting at a G1? And I will say this also. I'm not sure why they're not updating this map or this chart. I noticed that straight off the get. None of this is being updated. They stopped updating this before the turn of the day on the 10th. So this thing's been down now going close to 24 hours. Now, but the data's still there. Okay, guys? So I find it interesting that they're not updating this one. I'm not sure why. But, you know, I'm sure they're busy with everything that's going on. Now, let me say this too. Here is that nasty sunspot that's causing most of this. We had a blast from up here too from that sunspot. It's now turned away from us. It's probably, I'm not sure if it's all the way on the backside, but it's pretty close. But this one here is now in a position that any blast from that most likely won't be a direct hit to us. It could be, but the Earth strike zone's kind of over here. Okay, so, but even a side blast, sideways glancing blow from a big blast during conditions like this is very significant. Okay, so we could go down here on NOAA's forecasting. Now, here's the Aurora, and I kind of skipped out on this one yesterday, and I feel bad about it because I was going to show it. And actually, I'm not even going to show it to you here. I'm going to take you guys to the better one. See, there's other places to look for the KP. See this? They've even got it on this same dashboard, and it's updated. See? Now, we did get into a radiation storm. That's a proton flux. I've already talked about that. I'm not too concerned about that. That stuff has to really get high for that to really have a direct effect on us here on the surface. Okay? But here is your X-ray. This is the flaring right here, right? But when you see when it ionizes our poles here, guys, that's what you're seeing there. That's the radiation storm. Let's see if we can catch, yeah, we get to catch the beginning of it, okay? So, there it goes right there. That was probably at the start of all of it. And you see how, like, quickly it just entered in? And this is showing you really well how stuff comes in on our poles easier. Okay, so basically this is showing you X-ray, but this stuff here is really being caused by a proton influx. Okay, so as you can tell, things are happening. Now, a lot of people ask me, why did the south come in after the north? Well, because our planet is tilted, and so is our magnetic field. Okay, that's why. So it's always pointed the same, basically the same direction our axis is, but it's always at a tilt. That's why we have seasons. So with that being said, it will come in on the north quicker than it does the south in certain times of the year. So I'll just say that. But yeah, we got to see the beginning of that. Now, again, if we get more flares, here you go. And I have to say, after I got off stream last night, guys, we had an X 3.9 flare. That's that blast I showed you over here. This one. So, that was one of the biggest flares, if not the biggest flare that it's happened throughout this whole event. I'm not sure if it was, I think we got to an X4. Yeah, we was up to an X4.5 earlier this week. But yeah, so now let's what I do want to do is go back over here to Space Weather Prediction Center. I'm going to take you guys down to the Aurora dashboard, okay? And what this is going to do is going to allow us to see all the forecasting models. It'll let us see here's all your conditions up here, guys. If you just want a quick reference, this is at the top of almost every one of these pages over here at NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center, okay? So this is observed maximum for 24 hours. This is the latest conditions. So right now we're in a G3. It's what we're going to see. This thing is going to go down and up, down and up, down and up. It's just what it does, okay? And I have another map I'm going to show you after I show you the Aurora here. It's a German website, but here is the Aurora Forecast. Now, I don't know if Leah's in here or not, but she's probably getting a little excited about this one. she loves that Aurora. She talks about it a lot, and she's very knowledgeable on it. But this is intense. Okay, it doesn't get much more intense than this. And that's, you know, because we are at a G4. A G5 would just be the next step up. So if we come down here, this is what we're experiencing right now. Okay, yes, you get Aurora Borealis on the South Pole too. Same reason you get it on the North. Okay, I'm not going to go into detail on how Aurora is made, or produced, but that's what we got right now. This is what we can expect to see. And then if you scroll down some more, you get to see the KP here also. Again, even though it ain't updating on that front page, it doesn't matter. We can still see the data. Okay, so I don't want somebody thinking that we can't. Now, if we get to a KP of 9, this is what we would expect to see for an Aurora oval. All right, I expect us to see some reports of Aurora down on low latitudes. Okay, what's that mean? Closer to the equator, closer than mid latitudes. If I got clear skies right now, and if I go out in the country, and I live in mid latitudes in Indiana, okay, I have a chance probably during a storm like this that I might be able to catch some Aurora tonight. I don't know, but we'll see. You know, I can't really say 100% here, so, but that's what I will say. Now, let me, who gave me a, hey Sam, thank you so much for that. Appreciate you for that super chat. Guys, my chat wasn't updating, I'm sorry. I just glanced down at it and it was stuck. I'm sorry about that, Sam. I usually say thank you right away. I really appreciate that. Very generous, thank you. I'm trying to find it here in my little, so I can highlight it for you. There it is. Alright, hopefully it highlighted there in the window there. I like to do that because I think you guys deserve to get thanked right away when doing stuff like that. So thank you for that. Very appreciated. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, it showed up. Okay. Now, so there's your Aurora, which you kind of expect. But again, guys, I want to say this. There is no fear. I'm not scared at all. Now, what I will show you here, and again, you're not going to see, this is an HP indice. It's basically the same unit of measurement here, but it's a 30-minute increment plot point. So in 30 minutes, they take an average and they plot these bars, right? Over here, let me take you down to it here. This is the KP. This is a 3-hour average. Okay? Now you're still going to be able to get current conditions over here, but you can't see it like as detailed. Okay, this is going to show you latest observed, because a lot of times you're going to come over here, the maximum is going to say G4 like it does now, and right now we're in a G3. This actually went from a G4 when I watched this start down to a G1, back to a G3, down to a G2, back to a G3, G4, and it's going to bounce all over the place, guys. Okay, that's my point. And it's the same thing. And also, guys, our magnetic field, Magnetopause, did get compressed enough that it is inside the satellite line. Okay, actually, I'm not sure if I have that, but anyway, this is the plot point here. That right there is 8.667. Now, I was really good in math when I was in school, right? So let me just say, round that up, because that's past halfway, right? So, I mean, yeah, we're not quite to a 9, but daggone it, that is close. That is so close to a G5, it's not even crazy. So, you know, for what we're talking about here, and actually that little half a point we're talking about is actually pretty significant, because as things get higher, they intensify exponentially. So it's not like when you go from a 3.5 to a 4, it's not as a drastic swing of the effects as it is from going from an 8 to an 8.5. Okay? There's a big discrepancy there. Okay? So I just want to say that first and foremost on that end of it, because we need to understand that. But that still is a little increase. It's not that big of a deal as far as the difference between one or the other there. But if we do get to G5, we can expect some stuff to really start to happen. We can expect stuff from this. But let me take you guys. Here's the scales. I am not going to read these. Okay? I'll glance over them with you guys. If we get to G4, this is what we can expect. Widespread voltage control problems on protective systems. They'll mistakenly trip out, okay? Like your GFCI that you have in your kitchen and your bathroom now, right? It used to be that way. It's part of house code now for most areas. What that means is those things could trip out for basically no reason other than because of everything that's around, everything that's happening geomagnetically and geoelectrically causes it to trip out. In other words, you didn't throw your hairdryer in the bathtub. It just actually tripped out on itself. Okay? Now, and for seemingly no reason. But we know the reason, right? We're talking about it right here. So with that being said, we have to keep in mind that that is a thing, right? Now, let me, and if we get to G5, same thing. Widespread voltage control problems and protective system problems can occur. What's not there that was here? That word mistakenly tripped out. That is no longer there when you go to G5. In other words, these things are tripping out for a reason. It needed to trip out to protect it, to protect itself. You're going to see satellites, probably some of the ghost satellites, maybe even SDO, maybe even SOHO. They may get put into safe mode. They do that on their own sometimes anyway. Okay? So with that being said, yeah. So this is kind of what, transformers may experience damage. This is during, G5. It says some grid systems may experience complete collapse or blackouts. And these are all G5 stuff, right? And this basically is as bad as it gets when we're talking about this. Okay? And I don't like to dwell on that because we're not there yet. I'm still talking to you. Right? So, anyway, I'm not going to keep you guys here much longer because I want to give updates throughout the day and I don't want to water things down. But here is the data right here. We look for the -6 on the VZ. This is when all the space weather data started to move when we started getting hit. Okay? Our density has been up to 30, which is fairly high. Our BZ has been as low as 39 or 40. Negative. -6 is really the threshold we look for. So that's way, way negative. And then you got your speed. it got over 700. That's getting close to 2 million miles per hour. So that's what I'll say. But I am going to go ahead and end this one, guys. Thank you guys for swinging in to check this out. I will try my best to give you as many updates as I can. Okay. And if I see something that I think everybody needs to see, like right now, you might check my community post, my community tab. Click that notification bell too, so you'll know when I go live with an update. But I appreciate everybody that's here and everybody that's, you know, been here since the beginning. And thank you for the super chats. Thank you for everything. Hey, Full of Hope. Hey, Patty R. Thank you. Yeah, guys. It's let me say this, guys. Anybody that can still hear me? Yeah, I wondered. Wow, guys, YouTube is having problems. My sub count or the chat count went from 800 to 200. YouTube's got outages right now. I guarantee it. Holy crap. I'm going to type in the chat. All right, guys. Anybody that can still hear me? Yeah, you're probably back now. But this is a Oh my gosh, what is that? Yeah, we're back into a G4. Okay, so what's happening, guys? I want you guys to know what's happening here. We're probably getting YouTube outages. We're going to start seeing people drop in and out. All right. Looks like some people are coming back. Man, there it went again. It's skipping in and out real bad. I'm not going to be able to stay live. I will stay with you as much as I can. But this right here, guys, this is why I talk about this. Okay, this is happening. Yeah, it's buffering way too bad. Yeah, guys, KP's spiking right now. All right, if anybody can hear me, KP's spiking. We're getting hit again, strong. Okay, I'm going to have to kill this eventually, guys. I'll try to talk in the chat as much as I can if anybody can hear me. But I went from having almost 800 people here, well, about 700, down to 195 with the snap of a finger. Okay, so that's what's happening. I want you guys to understand that. This is going to be an off and on issue all weekend long. Okay, that's what's going to happen. I'm sorry, but that's just what I can't control any of that. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Patty R, thank you. I really appreciate it. If you can hear me. Actually, I guess I could. We might. be. Oh man, let's do this. Yeah, thank you for that, Patty. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, PCM. Okay, thank you. This is going to cut in and out, guys. This is going to be a problem across this platform. All right, I just want you all to know that. It's not going to happen all the time, but it definitely is going to continue. I'm glad I was able to get out here before this part of it started, because now you guys at least have something here to go at, you know, to base it off of. You don't have to have me here to tell you that something's going on, okay, guys? Please go look at these websites. All the stuff is in my description box. So if I'm not here, please check that out on your own. You guys are smart. That's why I do this, to give you guys the tools, so in cases like this, you don't need me, okay? To at least know what's going on. So, and why. And again, guys, I'll stick around here for a couple more minutes to see if things kind of calm down. But I do foresee this being a very consistent, persistent issue. Yeah, we're currently at a G4. So what that means is our KP spiking. Okay, we're getting hit again, or it's the same hit. It's just the fluctuation that we're going to see. Okay. So anyway, we'll go back to this and see if we can catch anything. Yeah, you guys back? Yeah. Okay. All right. So you guys just seen. Okay, so here's the thing. I am so glad that this happened. And let me tell you why. I get so many comments, so many emails. Oh, this is a nothing burger. This is nothing. This, that, and the other. Right? Well, okay. And usually people that are saying that, they don't quite understand what's going on, and I get it. But at the same time, they want to, you know, they try to throw up, well, you know, the official forecasting is this and that and this and that. Well, guess what? The official forecast is saying this should happen. I'm sorry, it just is. This is not a nothing burger. You guys just seeing it happen. So I know everybody listening to me right now probably isn't thinking that way. But to those that are, because there's probably a couple of you, I'll probably get emails, comments on this ain't going to turn out to be nothing. Oh, poor wages world. YouTube went down for a little while and buffering. Well, okay. Well, you know, hopefully you're not that next door neighbor when the power does eventually go out for somebody, that you need to go next door and ask your neighbor to feed your kids. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got to say, to be honest. It really irritates me. We don't have to have complete grid down to have issues. And that's the biggest point I'm trying to make. But that was a direct effect. When I started buffering, you guys seen it, okay? When I started buffering, everybody dropped off. What was this at? I just showed you. This said G3. G2, I think. Either G2 or G3. And as soon as I started buffering, guess what happened? Boom. G4. Direct effect. Everybody's seen it live. So, yeah. We're about to find out. FAFO. By the way, Action Jackson, I love that song. Anybody that hasn't heard that song from Adam Calhoun, he did a collab with the guy that actually made that original song. I'm not going to say those words out loud. It's pretty offensive for a lot of people. So, but yeah. Thank you, Trinity, for dropping that in there. Yeah, Enlightened Truth Seeker. It's, you know, I fight this. I fight this every time I do a live stream at all. And I get it, okay? people that don't understand what space weather is, this cracks me up right here. I'm sorry, I just seen that. See, we're at latest observed. This is what their forecast was for today at G1. Yeah, I'm sorry. That just made me chuckle. You buffering again? Wow. Okay. But yeah, guys. So we're gonna have to just yeah, 7 for sure. This is something that is going to continue. Like I said, this is something that is not going to just end. This is going to be an ongoing thing this whole weekend. Look, see, this last bar wasn't here when I was showing it to you just about 5 minutes ago, and look what happened. It went up. So we did take another hit. I want to find the German or the Australian geomagnetic tracker. Oh, goodness. I got it on my other computer. I don't have the link here. Hold on a minute. Oh, goodness. I hope I have it here. I would love to show it to you because it shows our bow shock, our first point of contact, getting compressed inside the satellite line. Okay, hold on. I think I might, well, yeah, I'll just have to show it to you next time in my next update. It's definitely happening, okay? Our magnetosphere is getting compressed, bouncing back and forth. Static again. Alright. Alright, guys, if anybody can hear me, I am going to go ahead and kill this because I'm probably not doing anybody any good. Yeah, Amber, yeah. I can see that. But yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a community post up. What I want you guys to do is check back on that community post. And if you have a question or anything like that, go ahead and drop it in a comment under that community post. If I can't go live and have enough signal and bandwidth because of all the stuff going on, at least we can have some contact there. Okay? But yeah, this is kind of what, well, I'm sorry, this is what we talk about. Could happen. It's happening. But I'm not saying that we're having grid down. That's not what I'm saying. So don't anybody think that. I'm just saying we're having issues right now. And it's exactly kind of what I thought would happen. At least this is how it would start. I didn't think it would start this quick. I got to be honest. I really didn't. I didn't think any of the G4 stuff was going to happen until tomorrow. Or very early on in the morning on the 11th. So, okay, Tampa Storm. I'll stick around for a little while as long as everybody's here. I don't care about the numbers, guys. That's not why I'm sticking around. I don't really care about that right now. It matters, but it doesn't, okay? This is more important to give you guys the information. So what we'll do is we'll kick this around. I do find it interesting, though, guys. I'm buffering on YouTube, but my internet signal is blazing strong where I'm at. So you know what that tells me, right? That tells me that in my area where I'm living, it's not affecting me as much as it is the YouTube signal itself, wherever it's going out from. It's a YouTube platform thing. But like, was it, who said that? Amber? Yeah, Amber said that. Her and her husband were using the phone, checking it and stuff. And as it got to a KPI 8, and that's a great thing to do, I have to say. And she was noticing stuff all across it. So, I appreciate you, Big Bugs, for real. So I'm not going to leave this on this page. Everybody gets bored with that. Let's, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just leave it on the Magnetopause model here. We'll just keep watching this pressure model. And this thing actually updates on its own. You don't even have to refresh it. Okay? So if you guys come over here, what I will show you real quick, though, before we keep doing that. If you go over here, Trinity actually dropped the link earlier. And to this page right here, Space Weather Center. If you go there to that, and it's all the way to the bottom, you can get everything I show you guys. Okay? The Magnetopause models are over here. Geomagnetic activity plot. Ground magnetic perturbation maps. You know, you can get to a whole lot of things. But the geospace magnetosphere movies, that is what this is. Okay? So if you want to see that, go down there and check that out. Thank you. Thank you, AK, forever in my heart. Appreciate that. Very appreciated. Thank you. I wish I could give you guys a little better coverage here. This is actually making it a little difficult. Yeah, see, I'm buffering again, guys. And I do think that this is going to continue. So, oh gosh, buffering again. People are getting kicked off too. I can see it. Wow. Yeah, guys. I'm trying to say words here when I'm not buffering. Wow. You're okay, Piper Lynn. No fear. Remember that, okay, guys? Guys, I'm not sure I can hang out much longer. This is getting really bad. This buffering's getting bad. Yeah, I could do that, guys. Just show my chat, but it's not me. It's not on my end. It's actually YouTube. I hate to say that, and the only reason why I know that is my cell signal is still strong,